last year of World War II, as the Allies pushed across Europe toward Germany, a very strange American unit went into action. It was about 1,100 men strong, but this unit carried almost no real weapons, and it was never meant to win a single battle by force. Its job was to lie, on a massive battlefield-sized scale. History would come to call them the Ghost Army. Officially, they were the 23rd Headquarters Special Troops, and everything about them was classified. Their weapon was deception. Using fake tanks, fake trucks, fake radio traffic, and even fake sounds, they conjured entire phantom armies out of thin air. Imaginary divisions of tens of thousands of men, created for an audience of one: German intelligence. The idea sounds absurd, almost comical. But in war, where an enemy commander moves his forces based on where he believes your army is, making him believe a lie can be as powerful as a real division. If you can convince the Germans that a huge force is about to attack in one place, they'll rush their defenses there, leaving the place you actually intend to strike wide open. The most famous tools of the Ghost Army were their tanks, because their tanks were made of rubber. A soldier could literally pick up a full-size Sherman tank and carry it across a field. The men would inflate hundreds of them, along with rubber trucks, jeeps, and artillery pieces, then arrange them carefully under the trees. The trick was in the details. They'd leave just enough of each dummy poking out from cover for German reconnaissance planes to photograph. They carved fake tank tracks into the mud with bulldozers. They lit fake campfires and hung laundry. From 5,000 feet up, it looked exactly like an armored division massing for a major offensive. Even stranger was who these men were. Many had been recruited from art schools, advertising agencies, and design studios. The unit was full of painters, illustrators, and engineers, including a young man named Bill Blass, who would go on to become one of America's most famous fashion designers. They understood, better than any ordinary soldier, how to make an audience believe in something that wasn't there. But a convincing illusion can't just be seen, it has to be heard. So the Ghost Army built one of the most unusual weapons of the war: sound deception. A special team traveled to a base and recorded the actual noises of armored and infantry units. Engines, treads, men shouting, bridges being built on as state-of-the-art records. Then they mixed these sounds into elaborate programs and blasted them across the countryside through enormous speakers mounted on half-tracks, powerful enough to be heard 15 miles away. In the darkness, German troops would hear an entire armored column rumbling into position for the night. There was nothing there but a truck and a loudspeaker. Then came the radio deception. Skilled operators studied the exact fist, the personal rhythm and style of the radio men in real units, and imitated them perfectly. When a Rhine division moved out in secret, the Ghost Army's operators would keep its radio chatter alive, so that German eavesdroppers listening to the airwaves still heard the division sitting right where it was supposed to be. The Ghost Army arrived in France not long after D-Day, and their trial by fire came quickly. In the hedgerow country of Normandy, they staged their first deceptions under real enemy fire, learning as they went. A mistake here wouldn't just fail, it could get them, and the real soldiers relying on them, killed. The pressure was enormous, and the margin for error was zero. They developed a philosophy they called the atmosphere. It wasn't enough to inflate a few tanks. To truly sell the illusion, every detail had to line up: the right unit patches, the right vehicle markings, the right radio traffic, the right sounds, the right rumors spread in the right cafes. A convincing lie, they learned, is built from 1,000 small truths. As the Allies broke out of Normandy and raced across France, the Ghost Army moved with them, plugging holes in the line again and again. Whenever a real division was pulled out to attack somewhere else, the illusionist would slide into its place and become it, keeping the Germans convinced that a powerful force still held ground that was, in reality, nearly empty. One of their most audacious tricks was impersonating units many times their own size. 1,100 men would routinely pose as divisions of 15 or 20,000. They'd scatter their handful of vehicles across a wide area, keep them constantly moving to suggest greater numbers, and let the enemy's imagination fill in the rest. Fear, they understood, does a lot of the work for you. Over the course of the campaign in Europe, the Ghost Army staged more than 20 separate deception operations, from the hedgerows of France all the way to the German border. Again and again, they impersonated real combat units that had quietly slipped away to fight elsewhere, papering over the dangerous gaps those units left behind in the line. The men even played their parts in the towns. Officers would sew on the insignia of the divisions they were imitating and drive into cafes, letting themselves be overheard discussing troop movements, knowing enemy spies were listening. Two generals seen in a town square could convince watching eyes that their entire headquarters had arrived. It was theater performed at the very edge of death. These were lightly armed artists standing in for armored divisions. If the Germans had ever seen through the illusion and attacked one of their phantom armies in force, the men of the Ghost Army would have been overrun and wiped out in a matter of minutes. Their only real protection was the enemy's belief. Their greatest performance came in March 1945 at the Rhine River, the last great barrier into the heart of Germany. As the real Ninth Army prepared to cross at one point, the Ghost Army staged a massive fake buildup several miles away, complete with dummy tanks, sound effects, and phony radio nets, drawing German artillery and attention toward the wrong crossing. When the real assault came, it met far lighter resistance than it should have. Deceptions like this one, repeated across the whole campaign, are believed to have saved many thousands of Allied lives by pulling enemy fire toward armies that were nothing but rubber, sound, and static. It was one of the most successful deception efforts in the history of warfare. What makes it all the more remarkable is the human cost the men carried quietly. Playing a phantom army meant deliberately drawing the enemy's attention onto yourself. When their deceptions worked, German shells sometimes fell on their positions, real steel aimed at a fake army. Several men of the Ghost Army were wounded, and a few were killed, dying to protect an illusion that saved others. And they did it all without ever being able to explain themselves. Ordinary soldiers sometimes looked down on them, not understanding why these well-equipped men never seemed to do any real fighting. The illusionists had to swallow that too, accused of having an easy war while secretly running some of the most dangerous performances on the entire front. And then, when the war ended, the men were sworn to silence. Their mission was so sensitive and so potentially useful in the Cold War to come that it stayed classified for over 40 years. The soldiers of the Ghost Army went home and simply couldn't tell anyone what they'd really done. It wasn't until the 1990s that the records were finally declassified and the world learned the truth. 1,100 artists, designers, and engineers had gone to war armed with balloons, speakers, and radios, and helped defeat one of the most feared military machines in history, using little more than imagination. In 2022, the survivors were awarded the Congressional Gold Medal, honored at last for a war they won by making the enemy believe a lie.